The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Chen Wei stood before the assembled representatives of 47 star systems. The human's simple black suit contrasted sharply with the elaborate ceremonial armor and biomechanical enhancements worn by the other delegates. To most observers, he looked painfully ordinary. "Honored Council," Chen began, his voice carrying clearly through the vast crystalline dome. "Humanity formally requests membership in the Galactic Defense Alliance." A ripple of what could only be described as amusement passed through the chamber. The Vraxian representative, a towering insectoid with razor-sharp mandibles, clicked in obvious disdain. "The bipeds from Sol 3 wish to contribute to galactic defense? How quaint." High Admiral Zektar of the Hegemony leaned forward, his four arms gesturing dismissively. "We have reviewed your species' military capabilities, human. Your projectile weapons are crude. Your spacecraft barely achieve faster-than-light travel. Your soldiers wear no neural implants, no genetic modifications, no plasma shielding." He paused for effect. What could such a primitive species possibly offer the galaxy's most advanced civilizations? Chen's expression remained neutral. Perhaps a demonstration would be more persuasive than words. The ethereal collective's representative, a being of pure energy contained within a translucent shell, pulsed with what their species considered laughter. "By all means, human. Show us these weapons that have conquered exactly one star system in 3 millennia." 3 days later, the demonstration commenced in the Kepler 442 system, a collection of dead worlds that served as the Alliance's testing ground. The Council's finest warships formed a defensive perimeter around the fourth planet, vessels that could glass continents with a single volley, their shields capable of withstanding the output of small stars. The human fleet arrived exactly on schedule. 12 ships. Not the gleaming bioorganic cruisers of the collective, nor the kilometer-long dreadnoughts of the hegemony. They looked like metal boxes with engines attached, utilitarian and ugly by galactic standards. "This is their entire contribution?" Admiral Zektar transmitted to his peers. "I've seen cargo haulers with more impressive armaments." Commander Sarah Mitchell aboard the UES Defiance listened to the alien chatter with grim satisfaction. Her crew of 200 had trained for this moment for months. No genetic enhancement, no cybernetic implants, no exotic matter weapons. Just human ingenuity and an understanding of warfare that the galaxy had forgotten. "Contact on sensors," reported Lieutenant Torres from the tactical station. "Automated. Defense grid is powering up. Energy signatures match hegemony battle platforms." "Acknowledged," Mitchell replied. "All ships implement Protocol 7. What happened next would be discussed in tactical colleges across the galaxy for centuries. The human ships didn't charge the enemy positions with shields blazing. They didn't attempt to match firepower with firepower. Instead, they seemed to scatter, moving in patterns that appeared random to the observing aliens. "Cowardice," sneered the Vraxian representative. "They flee before the battle begins." But Chen, watching from the observation deck of the Council's command ship, smiled grimly. "Wait for it." The first sign something was wrong came when the outer defense platforms went dark, not destroyed, simply offline. The hegemony technicians scrambled to understand the malfunction, their instruments showing no weapon impacts, no energy discharges. "Impossible," Admiral Zektar muttered. "Those platforms are hardened against all known forms of electronic warfare." "All known forms, yes," Chen agreed quietly. The second wave of platforms suffered the same fate. then the third. Like dominoes falling, the entire outer perimeter went silent. The alien observers watched in growing confusion as the human ships wove between the dead installations, untouched and apparently unopposed. "What sorcery is this?" demanded the ethereal collective representative. "Not sorcery," replied Mitchell, over the comm channel. "Just good old-fashioned human thinking. Your defense platforms are marvels of engineering. Quantum processors, neural mesh networks, adaptive algorithms. Very impressive. Also very vulnerable to a carefully crafted computer virus delivered by old-fashioned electromagnetic pulse missiles. The SE. Reality began to dawn on the assembled dignitaries. While they had spent millennia perfecting energy weapons and exotic matter manipulation, they had grown complacent. Their systems were so advanced, so interconnected, that they had forgotten the fundamental rule of warfare. Complexity breeds vulnerability. "The inner defenses are still operational," Admiral Zektar said, though uncertainty crept into his voice. "Our heavy battle platforms are completely isolated from external networks." "You're right," Mitchell acknowledged, "so we'll handle those differently. All ships, release the packages." From the bellies of the human vessels, thousands of small objects deployed. To the aliens, they looked like metallic insects swarming through space, primitive, almost laughable compared to the sophisticated weapon systems they were accustomed to. The first kinetic impactor struck a hegemony battle platform traveling at 12% of light speed. The platform's energy shields, designed to deflect plasma beams and exotic particle streams, offered no resistance to a simple tungsten rod accelerated to relativistic velocity. The station cracked like an egg, its reactor containment failing in a cascade of brilliant destruction. "Impossible!" Admiral Zektar roared. "How did such primitive projectiles achieve those velocities?" "Mass drivers," Mitchell explained almost conversationally as her fleet's kinetic bombardment continued. "We call them railguns. Your energy weapons are certainly impressive, but they require enormous power generation and complex focusing systems. Our approach is simpler. Take a heavy object, accelerate it to absurd speeds, and let physics do the rest." The sky above Kepler 442 began to burn as platform after platform succumbed to the human assault. Each kinetic impact released the energy equivalent of a nuclear weapon, turning the most advanced defensive installations in the galaxy into expanding clouds of superheated plasma. Within an hour, the demonstration was over. The impregnable defensive grid lay in ruins, conquered not by superior technology, but by inferior weapons wielded with superior tactics. The council chamber was utterly silent when the feeds cut out. Representatives who had ruled space for millennia stared at the tactical displays in stunned disbelief. Chen stood once again before the assembly, his expression unchanged. "Honored Council, humanity's application for Alliance membership stands. We may not have your advanced technology, but we offer something perhaps more valuable. The perspective of a species that has spent its entire existence finding new ways to kill things that are bigger, stronger, and better equipped than we are." High Admiral Zektar was the first to find his voice. "Your demonstration was most enlightening, Ambassador. Perhaps we have been too hasty in our assessment." "Indeed," pulsed the ethereal collective representative. "It seems we have much to learn from humanity's approach to warfare." The Vraxian delegate clicked thoughtfully. "Motion to grant full Alliance membership to the human species. All in favor?" Every hand, claw, tentacle, and appendage in the chamber rose in unanimous agreement. As Chen walked from the chamber, he reflected on humanity's greatest weapon, not their railguns or computer viruses, but their ability to look at an impossible problem and find a simple solution that no one else had considered. The galaxy had laughed at humanity's crude weapons. They weren't laughing anymore.